Hey guys, it's Kevin at Watchhimtrade.com showing a low price stock here, PBMD, just a monster move up 178%, and you can see just a sick rip over the last 20 minutes. I'm putting this on the screen here because I think it's showing some good footage in terms of the speed and the price action, and this is good action to review for those of you who are trying to get better with your level 2 interpretations. First of all, I am not trading the stock. I thought about trying to short it, but I'm just going to show I don't have any shorts available, so can't even short it. If I wanted to, I trade with TradeStation, and I guess they just aren't the best broker for shorting these lower price stocks. So anyways, and I'm obviously not going to long a stock that's up 175%. That's just me. But with all that said, wanted to still pull it up here and just commentate a little bit on what I'm seeing on the level 2, because the things I see on stocks like Apple, Netflix, Tesla, when I'm trading those higher price stocks, same characteristics apply to a lower price stock such as PBMD. And the main thing I'm seeing is a ton of speed. That's number one. The speed is awesome. You can see how quickly these bids are moving around. You can see the order flow. We are getting multiple orders every second. Every tick, we're getting lots of orders. You can see that by just looking at my time in sales here and, looking at all the rush of orders at every second. So what I would be watching for in terms of timing a short trade is for the order flow to start slowing down. And it's maybe doing that right here. You're starting to get a couple instances where you can actually count 1 second, 1/1000 in between an order. We were just able to do it right there between 12:08:57 and 12:08:59. And once you start to see that order flow slow down, that tells me a couple things. Number one, the people who shorted this thing earlier and got absolutely killed have probably covered into this, and when it's slowing down, there's not as much short covering going on. It's picking back up here again, of course. But number two, when you see that speed slow down, the people who are chasing this and they're playing the momentum, looking for more, they've started to get less excited about being buyers up here. So you still haven't seen it slow down enough, and we're making new highs. But once I'm able to see this kind of slow down a little bit for, say 5 instances where I can count 1/1000 within a minute span, then that's when I would say she's stalling out. That's number one, the speed, the order flow. And for those of you who like chart trading and you're still new to level 2 stuff, a simple way to identify speed is just by looking at your volume. I like looking at level 2 first and volume second. Some people like looking at volume first, level 2 second. But you can always know that there's a lot of speed when you glance at the chart and you see high volume. So that's the first thing. The second thing I'm watching for is for these bids to stop being so aggressive. Every time we come down a few cents, the bids are popping right back up, okay, on the bid side of things. So the asks maybe try and get some pressure going underneath 450, underneath 440, but every time these bids pop back up and push this thing right back up on the highs. Now right here we are starting to see the order flow slow down just a little bit. Had 1/1000 right there. Let's see if we get another couple. Had another 1/1000 there with no orders, but you're making new highs still. Still picking up. So, like I said, I kind of wanted 5 instances of being able to count 1/1000 before viewing it as the speed slowing down sufficiently. I'm at 3 instances right now, but we're coming up on that 60-second mark. There's still getting these bursts. Order flow is still pretty consistent. I'm still only at 3 instances, and we've passed 60 seconds. And as you can see, the stock continues to rise. And again, you see these bids continue to be aggressive, so still no real clean short signal on this. The momentum trade still working. You continue to see these bids pop up. Now you're getting just a massive 100 share bidder, 107 share bidder, 129K bidder at 470. So people really piling in here. One trap you want to avoid on something like this is you say, oh, it's up 196%, it has to come down. Well, it doesn't have to do anything, because I guarantee you, and I know some people, unfortunately, in our chat room, were shorting this thing in the $3 range because they were looking at it. They're like, oh, it's up 100%, it has to come down. Well, now it's up nearly 200%. How's that working out for you? You did just whack out that bidder, or he went away. Still haven't seen the order flow slow down sufficiently, and you still haven't been able to hold a move to the downside, which was the second thing I was going to talk about before it started making new highs. All right, and that is when the bids stop being super aggressive. Can the asks start down ticking without these bids jumping right back up right away? We've got like a 3-cent spread here. Now you're starting to get some down ticks. So coming down, but you still got strong bids. Another bidder popped up, 460, 10K. There was one of those 1/1000 instances. There's another one. There's 2 instances where I was able to count a second between orders. So I'm at 2 instances starting at 12, 13, and 20 seconds. Let's see if I can get a few more before 12, 14, and 20 seconds. Still only at 2 instances. There was another one, so we're at 3 instances here. There was a 4th one right here. All right, there's a 4th one. So the speed's slowing down here. There was a 5th one. So 5 instances here within 60 seconds where I was able to count 1/1000th between orders. So this is finally a setup to me where the speed slowed down a little bit, and I think you could maybe look at a short trade versus the current high a day. You know, maybe put your stop loss 5 cents above it, 485-ish or so, because if it was me, I wouldn't want to be involved with a $5 test, but the speed is slowing down here for sure, it seems. So that's step 1. Step 2, though, is getting these bids to stop being so aggressive. So again, in terms of order flow, it's still good, but it has slowed down just a little bit. I know it wasn't much, but like I said, I was able to count those 5 instances, and you're starting to whack things out. Notice that now we're whacking things out, or trying to, after the speed slowed down. It's not a coincidence. The order flow slows down. Now the bids, we're not seeing them be as aggressive. Let's see if we can whack out these 460 bids now. If you whack out 460s, that should be a good signal to print some 440s, maybe even lower. Getting a good stack on the asks now. Although you still took them out. Bidders popped up again. See if you can whack them out again. So if you're short right here, you've got what you need in terms of the speed slowing down. Talked about that. You still don't have what you need in terms of being able to generate ask pressure and really start whacking out these bids. The bids are still very, very strong. But I would be slightly encouraged by the fact that the speed slowed down. And like I said, if you can whack out 460 bids, you should be able to get a nice little flush, as you are up nicely. You're not up nicely, you're up amazingly. But asks trying to come down again. Alright, whacking out those bids. Here you go, testing that 460. There you go, filling that 460 bid. It's 30K on the bid, 34K on the bid. Still jumping off of 460. The bidders, though, definitely not as aggressive. They're not forcing it right into the 470s instantly like they had been 5 minutes ago. And I know I'm a broken record, but I would stress again that it's after we saw the speed slow down ever so slightly that the bids have stopped being as aggressive. Still need to whack out 460 though. Alright, well, picking back up again. So right here I'd probably be stopping out. Still look very strong, making new highs. And you can see that rush of orders come back in again. So, would have lost 5 cents, 5-10 cents. You just never could get the bids to get whacked out. The speed slowed down sufficiently, but the bids were just too strong. And looks like it wants to go for that $5 test. Like I said, if I was short, I would not want to be involved in a $5 test, because if you get above 5, I mean, look at what happened when you got above 2. Look at what happened when you got above 3. Look at what happened when you got above 4. So, hey, what might happen when you get above 5, right? So obviously, didn't get the washout I thought you could have. But hopefully you still pick some things up in terms of looking for speed and then looking for a change in level 2 activity. It's a combination of level 2 and time and sales that I like to use to try and time things here.